What's up, guys, and welcome to the theScore eSports podcast. I am, of course, your host, Colin McNeil. In the booth with me, we got Josh Burry.
Hello.
We got Daniel Rosen.
Hi.
And we have a sick guest. I'm super hyped today, guys. In just a moment, we are going to be talking to none other than Echo Fox's own Huni. He's been around the world. He's won almost everywhere. He's trying to win an NA now, and that's coming up in mere seconds. But right before that, Josh, I do want to ask you a very quick question. How comfortable are you right now?
Feeling pretty comfortable. Over here.
For those listening in MP3 format, Josh just rocked back, put his hands back of his head like he was Chewbacca, and he looks hella comfortable because we are chilling in these brand new chairs brought to us by our friends at DX Racer. They're super comfortable. Guys, sometimes we do really long podcasts. It gets hot. It gets strenuous. We're asking the tough questions. We need that lower back support. We need that lumbar support.
I have a lumbar pillow.
You do.
Yeah, we do have lumbar pillows. It's
now,
lovely.
Since we're all comfortable and we are on the clock here, guys, let's go ahead and bring Huni on and get into this podcast.
Yeah, let's do that. Huni, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yo, what up, my man Huni?
What up?
That's the response I wanted. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How about you guys?
We're doing good. We're excited to talk to you. First thing I want to say is actually just congratulations. Echo Fox's Spring Split was unreal.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty predictable when there's Huni, you know.
Oh, shit. God damn. This is the stuff I love. I love this kind of, this boisterous trash talk in League of Legends. Besides the Huni factor, how did you guys come out of the regular season with such a good record?
I mean, Echo Fox usually used to doing pretty not good, so you know, it is pretty hard to be better. I mean, worse than that.
Oh.
Also, I just got here and just like trying to win, and last year was I actually learned most amounts, and actually I could like help my teammates to get better or as a team. So that's why I think we were doing really well.
Well, that's a pretty damn good answer. Again, I appreciate the savagery. You're not out of line in saying that.
Yeah.
And that is one of the incredible things about Echo Fox's journey is from the bottom to the top of the standings.
Yeah.
Now, another thing about Echo Fox that's really cool is you guys, your owner, Rick Fox, he's, let's call him a hands-on owner. He's at, if not every single one, most of the LCS games. I know he loves it. He loves you guys. He's always talking you guys up. Can you talk a little bit about what it's like to have Rick Fox as an owner?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty cool. But for me, I didn't know like that well Rick Fox. So for me case is that like because I'm imports, I'm foreigner. So it's like I don't know about as much as him like compared to other my teammates, but he's really cool guy, and also he's like every time, even though he's like really busy, he's like sharing for us in like arena, like you know, it's actually bring a lot of energy and trying to like get good food for team or like being as a team, you know, it was pretty cool. So I really like him.
That's pretty cool, Huni. I actually wanted to ask you, I thought, obviously, with the new roster that Echo Fox would probably improve, but, I mean, you guys have been pretty surprising this split. You guys are up there. And also, there have been some other big surprises in the NA LCS as well. We've seen 100 Thieves. I mean, I don't think anybody pegged them for first at the beginning of this split. I didn't hear a single person, except maybe Nadeshot. Maybe Nadeshot said it.
Nadeshot did tell us that he would win the split, in all fairness.
Okay, so he called it, but not a lot of other people called it. I just wanted to get a feeling from you. What was your personal biggest surprise of the split? Like, what was the biggest surprise for you?
I don't know. Maybe Huni didn't get the first places in regular seasons.
I mean, okay.
That's definitely a surprise given your own history.
I think so. In my mind.
In my mind.
All right.
Now, Huni, I want to ask, you're a guy who's been around. You have won in Korea. You have won in Europe. You could conceivably win in NA. I'm not going to jinx anything for you guys, but you're in a pretty fucking good position. Excuse my language. I want to ask, as we call you guys imports, as someone who's not, native to the region you're currently playing in, I'm always curious about if you guys help each other out. Like, do you ever say, for example, call up Ole and say like, hey man, listen, I've been in your shoes. I know this is kind of weird. Let me tell you about this situation, or let me help you integrate a bit more. Do you have a relationship like that at all with other imports?
Um, yeah, probably. Like I'm hanging out with the Impact a lot because like we're really, like food, just like eating food. So we're just like meeting together, and it's just like we usually enjoy like good food, and trying to talk a lot, like as much as we can, like sharing about like informations, because like individually, if you're doing well, it's like for the future, it's gonna be good for both. So it's like we're doing like having a lot discussed with the impact, especially we're both of us we're top laner in NA LCS, so it's pretty worth it to just like talk with impact a lot, and like rain over. I always like go in K Town and just like eating Korean food, especially like he likes a lot like Korean food, and kind of like that. But I guess not, you know, not as much as for other people. I usually go with the Impact Rainover, something like that. They're like closest friends.
Does anyone, maybe Impact and Reignover included or not included, does anyone ever come to you, because you're such a veteran and you've been around so much and you've won in so many different places, been on different teams? Does anyone come to you and say like, Huni, I'm having trouble. I just moved here. I don't really get this or that. Or I don't understand what this means. Do you and you kind of mentor them in that way?
Um, I don't think so, because I don't think like anyone's just that much close between me, so that's why.
Fair enough. So my fantasy relationship between you and Ole, it's over. Just
I mean, yeah, I met him once when there was like kind of the like party of like kind of Immortals, and then
Mm.
it was like I met him, and then he was pretty cool. So yeah, I think that's all. I didn't talk that much, but
Sorry, you're helping Colin. Colin is the world's biggest Ole fan, so
yeah, I mean, I don't think I helped this something, so probably not.
That's fair. You're being fair.
I think you guys both seem to like to joke around, so I mean, maybe you guys both seem to like memes, so you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, jumping back to something Colin mentioned about you kind of going around everywhere. You said earlier this year in another interview, I think with Inven, that one of the reasons you came back to NA is because it's the only region you haven't won a championship in. And obviously now you're in playoffs, like that's a first for Echo Fox, but not a first for you. How does it feel to be so close to having that again, given, what happened last time in NA in playoffs for you?
Yeah. I mean, I got good positions like 2016 too, which is like I got to buy 2 times in a row, and I kind of failed pretty hard, and then I really disappointed. So I didn't want to like experience again, and that's why I really wanted to prove that I can also win any LCS. So that's why I came back too. It was just like one of reason, obviously, but you know definitely like right now I'm pretty happy that I get to buy again, and I could try again. It's pretty cool, and it's pretty nice that I really appreciate that. Like everyone just trying a lot, trying hard for work, putting work hard to actually get the playoff. But more likely, it's gonna be more like important that just trying hard at the playoff. No one is gonna remember about regular season. Pretty sure champions is gonna be memorable.
Of course.
Well said.
And on that note, I know that Echo Fox has been struggling a little bit in the last few weeks. You guys are 3-5 in the last 4 weeks after having such a crazy strong start. I'm wondering, was there any particular cause for that kind of downturn, and what are you guys kind of working on going into the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, there was a big patch note that's like meta shift pretty hard. This turns to top kind of tank meta, and I can't actually do more than like when I play carry, or like it's not snowbally as much as like when it's carry versus carry, something like that. So from there, it's like it was pretty hard for me to actually execute or help it. Like every rotations was like pretty worse than used to be before, because like we used to play a lot through top and then breaking game through top, with a Josh, which is like Dardoch.
Mm.
So it changed a lot how we played it, and then for now it's like even though you trying to broke game top, it's not worth it as much as like bottom or like mid, because like it's not effect as much as before.
Right.
So probably we are struggling a lot with that because we used not play like that, and
Sure.
I think it's pretty much that's it. And also like we got the first places too easily, so maybe some people just lost motivated a bit, and could happen.
Okay. Huni, I'm glad that you brought up Dardoch, because I think I would love to ask about it. He certainly has a reputation, whether it's earned or not. I mean, he's admitted in the past that he has sometimes been difficult with his teammates. What is it like for you to play with Dardoch, and does he live up to the reputation that he seems to have?
I mean, for me, it's like kind of hard to make reputations double judgment, because like I have never played with him before,
Mm-hmm.
and I was not even close to be with a Dardoch, and I don't know anything about like past, but just as I see, it's like obviously I could see like it is pretty hard. I mean, it was pretty hard to play it with him, because like how he played was like was like, as everyone knows that like I think I have never met kind of that personality his person, but I saw he's like trying to get better and trying to change his attitude. So that was a more glad point that I can actually pull it up.
Sure. Totally.
Wondering about back to the current playoff situation. Who, in terms of teams, in your estimation, Huni, would you sort of most like to find yourself against? The ones you think you could probably body versus the ones who maybe you don't really want that matchup.
I don't know. I'm not scared of anything.
I like that answer.
That's a
actually.
damn good
That's
answer.
a good answer.
That's
yeah.
a damn good answer.
I mean,
I'm
that's the
not
answer.
scared of
That's the
anyone.
answer you gotta have to win, right?
Not even
Like,
100 Thieves? No.
I mean, why would I be scared?
Oh, I don't know. Now I'm like, I don't know.
well, how about this? This will be the first time for not you as a player, obviously, but this Echo Fox team playing together. You guys have been playing BO1s all season. How do you think you guys will fare in a BO5?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty good questions. I don't know how it's going to be, but best of 5 is like more likely. It's like mentality game, so probably I should be the leader that I can actually, leading my teammates, because I have most experience, and try to be better, because the last few weeks has been struggling a lot, and playoffs should be the time that we need to prove that we're not bad.
Huni, last year you were with SKT and you guys pretty much went to the limit. You went to the grand finals at Worlds. SKT is not in a good place right now. Now, I know you're playing in NA. You're concentrating on doing well in that region. But if you had the members of SKT with you right now, in that room, what advice could you share with them for their struggles going forward?
I mean, no matter what, even though they have struggling with it, they're gonna be better team than us. So.
Oh shit!
Wow.
The whole podcast, so far, Huni, you were like, "Oh, I'm not scared of anyone. I'm the best. I'm the best." And then all of a sudden, you dropped that on us.
I mean, that's the advice, make them more confident.
Oh, it's psychology,
reverse
guys.
psychology.
It's psychology.
I see.
But seriously,
You guys don't know anything about psychology, bro.
We hella don't. You are schooling us right now.
you have next level Next level mind games. Is that what I'm hearing, Huni? You got the next level mind games?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yo, this guy's got more mind games than Weldon Green. Okay, let's be real here.
That was good. That was a good one.
I want to ask, talking about that Worlds appearance for you. You know what? People talk a lot about how Faker reacted to it, but I think that people don't necessarily talk about the other members of that team. And I'm wondering, what did it feel like for you to be so close to winning Worlds?
Yeah, I mean, it was really close because it's, it's grand final, and definitely there was chance that we could actually, if you just win one series, that is the winning the world champions. It was really close, but I mean, it was pretty good experience. It was really great experience, so I would not say it's that bad. But just like kind of sad, but for me, it's like my best career before the previously was just like same finals at worst, which is when I was in Fnatic. So probably not that like actually worst final. I've never been worst final before, so for me it's like just whatever because I got the best career gain. But for my teammates it was pretty sad. Also I was really sad too, but there was like nothing I can do, and it's just like whatever for me. Still, we won like MSI, and we play a whole game what we can in 2017. So there's no regret.
I want to ask a little bit, Huni, that you spent the summer split in 2017 sharing time a lot with Untara. And I want to ask you, do you feel like that affected your play? And when as a second part to that, when you found out that you were going to be going to Worlds and not Untara, what was that feeling like for you after having that season where you hadn't played as much as he had?
Yeah, I mean, but I just need to be playing well. That's all. And after MSI, I kind of lost motivated because like we won MSI pretty easily, and I just kind of dropped down my like nervous about like getting pressure or something like that. So I was like having too much freedom, feels like it. So that's why I was like having triggering a lot of summer split, and that's why I wouldn't try to play a lot. But like I was trying to like keep catching up like until World Championship. That's why I played pretty well at the World Champions or like semifinals, finals. I mean, summer split playoff finals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just feels a lot of pressure that I'm only the who going for top laner, which is like there's no sub. Even though I play really bad, like there's not gonna be sub. I just need to play really, really well. So that was more point that I'm getting more pressure, so I need to more practice. I need to be playing well. So that's what I did, I think.
Huni, in our short time talking, you have impressed me very much with your trash talking and psychology abilities. Which is,
I mean, when it's true, you can't call that trash talk.
That's
oh my god!
It's not a threat;
You
it's a
say
promise.
in fact or truth.
I love it. Well, you've impressed me with your truth bombs. Let me put it that way. I know you've got to get to a meeting and we've got to let you go, but I'm wondering before we do that, if you could give us one last truth bomb barrage for your opponents in the upcoming NA LCS playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm only sorry for that because, they will have to play for like third, fourth, because we're gonna win the semifinals.
It's a done deal, guys. You heard it here first, okay? Huni, I want to say thank you so much for joining us. It's really been fun talking to you. Hopefully we can do it again sometime soon. And before we do let you get on to that meeting, is there anything that you wanted to say or shout outs or just hello to the fans, anything like that?
I really appreciate it. Everyone just like came to me and, I can actually feel that I'm really, a star. So it feels really great. And you guys are awesome too. Like always have been like a lot of energy to put push to me. And I really appreciate that. And I hope you guys are cheering for us until, my life done.
Hey.
All right.
Lifelong
Awesome.
fans.
I love it. I love it.
Oh.
Huni, thank you so much, man. It's been a pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great one, man. Bye.
Take care. All right, so I feel like Huni just with that last one, he just dropped a gangplank alt of truth over on all the
Like
other
a whole
LCS.
barrage.
Like a
You know,
whole
it
barrage,
was a
yeah.
global trash talk alt.
Yeah, everybody's playing for third, fourth. Everybody's playing for second.
Yeah.
No, okay. I'm
No,
trying to
that in all seriousness, that was really fun. Like,
that was a super fun conversation.
You know, it was tragically short. You know, hopefully the next time we get to talk to Huni, it's a little longer. But you guys know how much I love when we get guests who are like kind of impassioned. They're getting into it. They're trash talking. And I have never. You have both interviewed Huni before. I've never had the pleasure. I did not know he was going to be like that.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
That's the thing. When usually when you have people who are like impassioned, right? The trash talk is coming from a place of being jovial.
Yes.
Huni's just confident. Dude's just cool and collected. It's like he just knows he's better, and that's really cool to see. I feel like you don't often see that, especially in League of Legends players who are a lot of like, well, it's about the team and we're all giving it our best. And Huni's the one who's going to go out there and say like, I'm surprised Huni wasn't the best player of the split.
You so often hear like, oh, I just hope I have good games. Please cheer for me kind of thing. Huni's just like, nope, I'm the best. They lost because I wasn't there
Drop
or
the
what
mic.
have you.
Yeah, we were actually talking before the podcast that the last time I personally interviewed Huni was at 5 a.m. in May of 2017, obviously because he was in Korea.
Yes.
And I'm not a morning person. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I need coffee just to live. And I thought I could get some, but I didn't have any. But that conversation was like better than a cup of coffee for me. Like he
amps you up.
He's just so full of
Joie de
the
vivre.
passion, the joie de vivre.
Yo, you know what's actually fucked up now? So Ole's like definitely my favorite player in
But
NA right
I
now.
see.
Now it's like
You got this
now-
Korean crush.
Huni has endeared me to himself with his personality. Obviously, he's a fantastic player. Why do I watch NA? Why do I like all the Korean players? Like,
The secret is that. You said it, so I don't have to.
I just
Flame
whispered
Colin. Flame Colin.
Just whispered it.
Flame Colin.
Just whispered it.
Yeah.
Colin McNeil on Twitter.
No, don't do it.
I honestly looking forward to the playoffs. I'm just thinking, let's see how Echo Fox does. Like Huni said it himself, they're playing through the top a lot.
Yeah.
In the current meta, maybe that can't happen as much.
Yep.
So
That's a good point.
I'm excited to see what Huni can do from probably a tank champion, and can he bring the team together? Like he said, he wanted to try and do that. He wanted to try take that leadership role. And we've seen, obviously, in his like wired up sort of like mic check moments that he's very encouraging of his team. But
Making jokes,
I
keeping
mean,
them loose.
he said there, right? He's part of the team's leadership, and I think that makes a lot of sense.
yeah, I'm just excited to see what they do with it, because it's
Yeah.
pretty hard to go through the beginning of a season, have a game plan that works really well, and then go into the later part of the season. It's like, hey, we got to adjust this. We got to change it,
It's very difficult.
and we got to do it quickly because we only have this one shot. So,
Yeah, no, I'm actually now looking forward more than ever to their battles with perhaps 100 Thieves.
Yeah.
I think the two. What'd you just smile at me for? You just
Can
like.
we see Nade Shot just fight Rick Fox?
Well, for them to play 100 Thieves, they need to beat whoever comes up through the game below them.
Yeah, right.
For
So,
sure.
Yeah.
So, TL maybe.
But it's
like-
TL,
like-
versus, TL versus Clutch C9 versus TSM, or no, TSM versus Clutch CL versus T9. That's
So
it.
TSM will probably go through. Who did you say?
No, Clutch. Let's go.
It's Clutch versus TSM
Yeah.
C9 TL.
Okay,
and,
so
and Echo Fox will play the higher seed of the two.
so TSM will probably go through.
No, I'm
So
taking
then they
Clutch.
all
I'm
probably
taking
T-
Clutch.
TL
Let's go.
C9 is really hard to call. I think
C9.
So yeah, you think so? I think they're. I have a soft spot for TL. So-
However, actually, Cloud9's performance, since we're talking about this,
Yep.
in the recent weeks has been
Excellent. Oh no, rough. Sorry, Cloud9's
No.
been rough.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
TSM's been excellent. I got it
opposite of
backwards.
that.
Yeah.
TSM
Cloud9
had the big upswing.
That's right.
C9 had the big downswing.
Yeah, Cloud9's recent performance hasn't been super encouraging.
Yeah, I really relied on Sneaky to bring me points in fantasy, and that didn't work
So
out for me.
actually, I don't know if this can happen, but if we could see a Cloud9 Echo Fox matchup, that could be really interesting. Like we could see some stuff there. But I think they're
I
on
feel like
opposite
it's-
sides, right?
I'm trying to think who's higher seeded, C9 or Liquid, or C9 or TSM. TSM finished third, right? Or tied for the.
I don't have the.
Yeah, I don't know how the 500 tiebreakers went. So
Oh yeah, I actually had to tap out at the third tiebreaker because it was like midnight here, and I had to work the next morning. But no, it's going to be a great playoff. So I kind of hope TL goes through. I don't know, but
We'll see.
You have a soft spot for Steve. That's why.
He's
he
also for
sent me a
Ole.
Christmas card.
Yeah.
So.
Bias. #bias.
No. Well, anyways, I think this podcast is about run its course. We'll be watching that top lane of Echo Fox a little closer now, I think, now that I have a more personal picture of the gentleman who's operating that position. Thank you so much for listening, guys. This has been the SKOR eSports podcast. For Josh Burry, Daniel Rosen, I'm Colin McNeil, saying till next time, GG.